This is not a story for the faint of heart. The mirror of Thoth is no ordinary glass. It is the unseen force that, for thousands of years, has shaped every moment you call your life, while you remained blind to its gaze. They say the mirror was hidden beneath layers of gold and secrets in the lost halls of Kem, the ancient Egypt you think you know. But it's not a mirror of silver or sand. It is the vibration behind your eyes, the silent architect, the code that reflects not your face, but your energy, your intent, your hidden thoughts looping like an infinite spiral behind every decision. If you are watching this, you are not here by accident. Listen. Most people stumble through their lives, convinced they are simply reacting to the world. But the ancients, those who wrote in light and sang to the void, knew that reality itself is only a polished surface. A mirror, encoded with secrets, watching you as much as you watch it. I will say this as plainly as the night wind in the Valley of Kings. You have been creating your reality every second, without knowing. Your fears, your hungers, the endless thoughts running through your mind have been quietly sculpting the landscape of your life in real time. This is not philosophy. It is vibrational technology, the forgotten mirror code. For centuries, seekers traveled through storms and sand to stand before the Ankh Ma'at, the so-called mirror of truth, in hopes of seeing the secret of their fate. Some wept. Some ran screaming from what appeared. Some, the rarest, laughed a wild, free, echoing sound that rattled the very stones. Why? Because what they saw was not destiny, but the power to rewrite destiny itself. That is the secret the priests and scientists never wanted you to know. It's unsettling, isn't it? To realize that every hope, every grudge, every longing is sent out into the field and mirrored back as circumstance disguised as luck, fate, or coincidence. I remember the first time I tried this practice. Alone, candle flickering, I dared to stare past my own reflection, and for a moment, a long, trembling moment, I felt the mirror watch me back. It was as if an ancient intelligence was waiting for me to finally notice. Let me be blunt. This code does not care if you believe. The code is belief raw, unfiltered, constantly at work. If you do not learn to direct it, your shadows will do it for you. Do not attempt what follows, unless you are ready to meet yourself not as you wish to be, but as you are. The price of awakening is total honesty. Are you still here? Then listen carefully. Right now, wherever you are, find a mirror. No, not your phone. An old mirror, untouched, or even a bowl of still water will do. Sit quietly. Take a slow breath in, and out, and again. Now, for the next 33 seconds, do not look at your face. Instead, look into the space just behind your eyes in the reflection. Do not blink. Feel what rises: fear, resistance, shame, awe. Let it come. Let the energy swirl up and around you, as if ancient symbols were lighting up behind the glass. Whisper this phrase, so softly only your soul can hear. I am not only the reflection, I am the force behind the glass. Do it now, just once, with your full attention, and your energy field will begin to tremble. Some will feel warmth, some will feel cold, or a pressure at the back of the neck. This is the mirror code, unlocking a process as old as the first sunrise. Warning: if you begin to feel dizzy or memory fragments surface, do not resist. The energy is only rearranging itself. If you stop now, the effect will fade. But if you see it through even once, you will never look at reality the same way again. Are you brave enough to admit that the mirror has always been watching back? If you have done the practice, type in the comments, "I have seen the mirror." The code is awakening. The origin of the mirror code is older than the pyramids, older even than the name Thoth itself, a secret so entangled with myth and memory that few dare to speak it aloud. They called him Thoth, Jehuti, Hermes, Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods, he who measured the stars and named the hours. But to those initiated into the deepest halls, Thoth was known as the keeper of the paradox. His paradox was simple, yet utterly devastating. Reality is both created by the observer and also creates the observer in return. The mirror is both the source and the outcome. The code is not only written by you, but it is you. For centuries, the emerald tablets whispered their warning. He who gazes into the living mirror but does not know what he seeks will be undone by his own reflection. It was no idle threat. Legend has it that even the high priests of Egypt, crowned in gold and sapphire, would shudder before the chamber of the mirror. There were tales, some whispered, some etched in vanished scripts of seekers who became lost in their own gaze, unable to return to the world of waking men. Is this mere allegory? Modern quantum physicists, probing the boundary of matter and consciousness, stumble toward the same riddle. The observer effect, the act of watching, alters the outcome. Your expectation bends reality, folding it like origami, until what is probable becomes what is real. Yet the ancients went further. They did not just study the effect, they practiced it. Their mirrors were not just glass, but vibration, sound, and light, designed to amplify intent and return it 1,000-fold. Consider this. In India, the Upanishads teach that Atman, the self, and Brahman, the all, are one and the same, each soul, a living mirror of the infinite. In Tibet, adepts stare into the surface of a black mirror or bowl of water to glimpse the tulpa, the thought form, made real by focused mind. And in Egypt, the mirror of Thoth was said to reflect not what is, but what could be potential waiting to be claimed. Are you beginning to see? The code was never about seeing your face. It is about seeing your influence. It is about awakening to the knowledge that every thought, every word, every unspoken wish is written into the fabric of reality, reflected, magnified, and made manifest, sometimes in ways too subtle for the rational mind to grasp. The first time I read the inscription above the old mirror at Abydos, it sent a chill through my bones. He who fears his reflection fears his own creation. There is a danger here, a psychological vertigo. If you stare too long into the possibility of your own power, you may feel a kind of spinning, a sense of unreality, as if you are standing at the edge of a cosmic cliff, gazing down at the machinery behind existence. This is not an error, this is the threshold. Do you remember what you saw in the mirror just now? Did you feel a presence, a tug at the back of your awareness? Did doubts or old memories arise? That is the code waking up. For some, it comes as a thrill, for others, a terror. But all transformation begins at the edge of the known, where fear and awe meet in silence. Now, let's deepen the practice. Take a deep breath. This time, as you gaze into the mirror, soften your eyes, not staring, but almost dreaming. Imagine the surface rippling, as if the glass is liquid, as if the distance between you and your reflection is melting away. Inhale slowly, feeling the air enter your heart, and ask yourself not with words, but with vibration. What am I truly reflecting into the world today? Pause and listen. Let your mind go silent, just for a moment, and allow an answer to surface. Sometimes it comes as a feeling, sometimes a word, sometimes a color or sound. Trust what arises. Do not judge or analyze, simply receive. Warning: if you feel anxiety, dizziness, or an urge to look away, honor it, but stay just a second longer. This is your old programming, the guardian at the gate. Step through, gently. If you complete this practice, even once, your reality will begin to shift. You will notice small things first, strange synchronicities, subtle changes in how people treat you, or a new clarity in your intentions. These are the early signs. This is how the code introduces itself. If you felt the threshold, type in the comments. I have touched the edge. The paradox is alive. The sound that unlocks the glass. This is not a chant you've seen on YouTube. It is an ancient vibration, whispered in the dark corridors beneath the Nile, known only to those who dared to listen with more than ears. It's hard to believe, but a single sound, a note vibrating at a precise frequency, can bend the mirror of reality. The priests of Thoth never relied on empty words. Their magic was rooted in resonance, not recitation. I remember the first time I tried the true sound. My chest hummed, the air thickened, and for an instant I felt the boundary between reflection and reality dissolve. Science today offers pale imitations, cymatics videos, Tibetan singing bowls, the new age echo of 432 Hz. But the initiates of Chem sang something older, wilder. It wasn't a note, it was a feeling, a tone found only when the body is silent and the heart becomes a tuning fork. In every tradition, India's Om, the Hebrew Shem, Tibet's Hum, the Masters, spoke of a frequency that opens the unseen. Here is the paradox. The sound that opens the mirror cannot be faked. It will not respond to half-hearted mimicry. It must be summoned from the hidden vault inside your being, where fear, hope, and memory tremble as one. Some call it the vowel of power, others the forgotten name, but Thoth's followers called it the mirror tone, a pure, steady hum that vibrates not from the throat, but from the field behind your heart. Let's shatter illusion right now. Sit, spine tall, eyes half closed. Place your hand over your heart. Draw a slow, deep breath, and on the exhale, release a gentle, resonant not with the lips, but with the chest. Feel the vibration radiate out, as if it is rippling through the glass itself. Do not judge the sound. Do not worry if you are doing it right. Let it emerge, raw and trembling, for 33 seconds. Yes, 33. That is the number encoded in the stones of every pyramid, the age at which initiates face their final test. Let the sound fill your skull and spill into the space behind your reflection. What do you feel? Perhaps a tingling at your scalp, a pressure at your brow, a shimmering at the base of your neck. If you listen closely, the air will seem to pulse, and the mirror, yes, even a simple glass will shimmer, as if something behind it is about to reveal itself. But heed this warning. The mirror sound does not always bring comfort. Sometimes, it drags out what you've hidden: a regret, an old betrayal, a memory half forgotten. This is not failure. This is the energy field breaking open, the code responding to the true call. If you feel tears, let them fall. If laughter bubbles up, allow it. The mirror's only loyalty is to authenticity. False notes create only distortion. Those who have faced this vibration say that after the third repetition, their dreams changed. Symbols appeared: ankhs, spirals, eyes. Some reported lucid flashes, messages in forgotten languages. The sound had become a key, unlocking doors they didn't know existed. If you've dared to hum the mirror tone, type in the comments, "I have sounded the key. The glass is shifting. The shadow in the silver." This is the side of the mirror that most fear, the part the legends warn against: the hidden residue, the ghost within the glass that whispers your deepest doubts. Anyone who has ever stood alone at midnight, staring into an unlit mirror, knows this is not a place for the timid. In the silent silver, old wounds reappear, the memory of a harsh word, a disappointment, the ancient hunger for validation. The Egyptians understood this, and so did the mystics of every age. The mirror will not only reflect your intention, but will also summon your shadow. This is not punishment, it is the price of real magic. In the cold stone temples, initiates were led into chambers where only a single candle flickered. There, they were told, "See not just your face, but the faces you have buried, the truths you have hidden." Some broke down weeping, others emerged hollow-eyed, transformed or shattered. This was not a ritual for spectacle, but a test, a purging of the subconscious, a reckoning with the ghosts that rule your unseen world. Modern psychology tries to name this, the shadow self, the repressed or unwanted. But in the old language, it was more than theory, it was an experience. They believed the mirror would thicken, a living liquid, and you would see shapes flicker behind your eyes, the old you, the lost you, the unfinished stories whispering for release. I remember my own reckoning. The night I sang the mirror tone, an icy cold swept over me. My chest tightened. For a moment, I wanted to turn away, to escape back into distraction or sleep, but I stayed. I felt an ache, a wave of old shame, and then clarity. Not joy, not pain, but a deep silence that hummed with truth. If you encounter your shadow, an old regret, a sharp sting of jealousy, a name you haven't spoken in years, welcome it. Say softly, "You are seen. I am the creator now." This is how the code cleanses, by acknowledgement, not denial. The shadow dissolves only when exposed to the light of the awakened witness. A word of warning: some who rush this step, who try to skip the shadow and force only positive thoughts, find that the code turns against them. Repression is distortion. The mirror only amplifies what is real. and what is hidden will echo back with even greater force. If you have stood before the silver and named your shadow, type, "I have faced the ghost." The silver is clear. The law of return. This is the secret. The magicians rarely spoke aloud. The code that ensures every vibration sent into the mirror must return, reshaped, intensified, and true. You think you are merely a spectator, a wanderer watching events unfold. But the ancients would scoff. Every wish, every fear, every thought is a stone dropped into the still pool of the mirror. The ripples cannot help but return. No priest or scientist, no matter how arrogant, could escape the law of return. I once doubted it too. I dismissed old stories of karmic retribution as primitive superstition until the evidence became too clear, too relentless. My moods echoed back in the world around me. A day of resentment brought closed doors, strange accidents, tense faces. A morning of gratitude spun gold from even the most ordinary hours. At first, I called it luck. Eventually, I understood. The code is neutral, but it is never passive. This law runs deeper than morality or even intention. Ancient Egypt called it ma'at, the cosmic balance, the weighing of every heart and feather. In India, it is karma, action echoing through lifetimes. Tibetans speak of tendril, the mysterious web that binds cause and effect. And in quantum physics, the observer effect. What you expect is mirrored in what you receive. But here is the truth that breaks denial. You cannot choose what you mirror by force. The code is not tricked by affirmations you do not feel, nor by words recited with empty hope. Only the vibration behind the action counts. If you send out longing wrapped in fear, it returns as more longing, more fear. If you release gratitude, or even honest sorrow, the mirror reflects you as you are not as you pretend to be. Ready to test the law? Here is the ritual, ancient, but as real as your next breath. Sit quietly with your mirror. Place your hands on your heart. Take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. As you exhale, recall a recent thought, wish, or regret that still lingers. Whisper it not to your reflection, but to the space just behind the glass. This is my vibration. I offer it freely. And now, release all desire for outcome. Let it go as you would a bird from your palm. Wait. Sometimes the answer comes as a subtle shift, a release of tension, a sigh, a sense of lightness. Sometimes, within hours or days, the world mirrors your vibration back in ways unmistakable and strange. A phone call, a sign, a sudden change in mood or fortune. Warning: the mirror answers with precision, not sentimentality. If your heart is closed, if you hide a secret agenda, the code will expose it. Side effects may include sudden clarity, unexpected tears, or a haunting sense that the world is suddenly more alive, more responsive, more yours. If you have released your intention and seen the mirror respond, type, "The mirror has answered, the return has begun." The gate of doubt. This is the invisible threshold, the test that guards the entrance to the true chamber of the mirror code. Here, every seeker is met by their oldest enemy, the voice that whispers, "None of this is real. You are only imagining. Turn back." No one escapes the gate of doubt. Not the high priest, not the scientist, not even the master, after decades of ritual. It appears, always, at the edge of every great transformation. Sometimes it is a subtle ache, a tightening in the chest, a sudden urge to check your phone, to stand up, to escape the silence. Sometimes it is a mocking inner voice, clever and relentless. What makes you special? Why should the universe answer you? The legends describe the gate as a living shadow, an archway of swirling mist, appearing in the mind's eye as soon as the mirror begins to shimmer. In ancient Egypt, initiates called it Isfet, the force of chaos, confusion, and entropy. India's sages named it Maya, the veil of illusion, the cunning of the mind. In the West, it became the inner critic, the skeptical voice of reason, sharpened by centuries of rationalism. Let me be honest. Doubt is not your enemy. It is the guardian, the tester of your resolve. The code demands honesty, but it also demands courage. Every time I reach a new threshold, the gate of doubt returns. Sometimes it laughs in my face. Sometimes it shows up as a physical wall fatigue, restlessness, even a faint nausea as the energy shifts. But I have learned, if you greet the gate with respect, it becomes a passage. If you resist or deny, it grows into a prison. Here is how to cross the threshold. When the doubt arises, stop, breathe. Name it not as an enemy, but as a signal. Doubt is present. The gate is open. Then, instead of turning away, gently focus on the sensation of doubt. Where does it live in your body? Chest? Stomach? Forehead? Breathe into it, allowing it to exist without resistance for 3 full breaths. Now, look back at your mirror, real or imagined, and say, softly, "Doubt, you are my witness. I choose to proceed." Something shifts in that moment. The mirror no longer rejects you. The glass becomes permeable, the image softens, and a subtle warmth flows from the center outward. This is the gate opening. Some report a sudden download of insight, others, a deep peace. For a few, the energy surges, leading to a night of restless dreams or vivid visions. Warning: if you try to defeat, doubt, or bury it under forced positivity, the gate will reappear, stronger than before. Honor the guardian, cross with humility. If you have met the gate and stepped through, type, "I have crossed the threshold, the chamber awaits." The chamber of infinite faces. This is the hidden room behind every mirror, where reflection dissolves and the boundaries between self and world grow thin. Here, the secret is revealed. You are not only the watcher, but also the watched, an endless dance of creation, echo, and return. Anyone who's spent time in solitude, staring deep into their own eyes, knows the eerie moment when something shifts. The face grows strange, ancient, sometimes unrecognizable. For a split second, you see not just yourself, but 1,000 selves, a tapestry of past lives, archetypes, forgotten memories swirling together. The Egyptian initiates called this the Sahu room, the sacred hall where souls meet their true form. Indian yogis whisper of the Ahamkara, the dissolving of the ego mask. In Tibetan Dzogchen, it is the rainbow body, the shimmering, multidimensional field that underlies all appearances. Modern science, with its clumsy language, calls it identity dissolution. Psychologists say it is a trick of the brain, a flicker in the default mode network. But the ancients knew better. When you look long enough, with enough courage and softness, the mirror reveals not just your face, but the river of consciousness flowing through you, timeless, borderless, ever renewing. The first time I entered the chamber, I felt vertigo. My face blurred and stretched. Old wounds and victories flashed behind my eyes. I wept. I laughed. For a moment, I feared I might vanish entirely. Then came a silence, deeper than sleep. And in that silence, the knowledge, I am more than one, but also not alone. In this chamber, everything becomes possible. The ancient code is no longer a secret, but a living energy. Wishes become intentions. Intentions become echoes. Echoes return as events. Here, your true work begins. To access the chamber, do this. Gaze at your reflection, or close your eyes, and imagine the surface of the mirror expanding, becoming a portal. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, let your sense of I grow softer. Ask, not with words but with presence, who am I when I do not remember my story? Let whatever arises, images, feelings, colors, wash over you, without clinging. Feel yourself dissolving into the field of faces, each one a piece of your cosmic lineage. For some, the chamber brings visions, glimpses of past lives, encounters with ancestors, flashes of light or sound. For others, a sense of deep, boundless compassion. Side effects may include tears, laughter, chills, or a radiant peace that lingers for days. Warning: if you feel fear or the urge to cling to your old identity, pause and breathe. Remind yourself, you are not losing yourself. You are discovering how vast you truly are. If you have glimpsed your infinite faces, type, I have seen the many. I am more than one. The secret of the witness. This is the heart of the code, the revelation that you are not only reflected by the world, but that the act of witnessing itself shapes the very pattern of reality. You become the living mirror, the silent shaper, the secret architect of fate. In the old temples, initiates were warned. If you stare into the mirror, seeking only answers, you remain trapped as the questioner. But if you become the witness, you inherit the power of the mirror itself. This was not poetry, it was instruction. The emerald tablet speaks of that which is above and that which is below, an endless feedback loop, the world mirroring you as you mirror the world. But the step most seekers never take is to move beyond their own reflection, into the stance of pure witnessing. What does it mean, to witness? It means to become present, aware, unattached, not lost in desire or fear, not pulled by regret or anticipation. The witness is the still point around which the universe turns. In India, the sages called this Sakshi, the silent observer, eternal and free. In Tibetan practice, it is Rigpa, the clear, lucid awareness beneath all thoughts. The Egyptian priests named it simply the Watcher, the hidden soul behind all seeing. It sounds simple, but to truly become the witness is to step outside the loops of habit, identity, and story. When I first touched this presence, it was a shock, like waking up inside a dream I thought was real. For a moment, everything became still. I felt the world looking back at me, as if I was both the player and the stage. Joy, pain, fear, all became ripples in a vast, silent ocean. There was nothing left to control or fear, only the witnessing and a strange, radiant peace. Try this now. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring attention to the breath, but do not control it. Watch thoughts come and go, feelings rise and fall. Resist the urge to change or judge them. Instead, simply notice. There is awareness of thought, there is awareness of feeling. Allow yourself to rest as the one who watches. As you rest in this state, you may feel a gentle energy building, a warmth at the crown of your head, or a subtle glow in your chest. This is the mirror code, coming alive, not as something to do, but as something to be. The world will begin to feel lighter, less fixed. Synchronicities multiply. Old patterns break with surprising ease. You become, at last, the living mirror, reflecting and shaping reality from the inside out. Warning: some, when they first become the witness, feel a sense of emptiness or vertigo, a fear of losing control. This is natural. It is the code inviting you to trust, to let the dance unfold. If you have touched the witness, type, "I am the mirror." The code is awake. The side effects of awakening. This is the unvarnished truth the ancient teachers warned their closest initiates. Once you activate the mirror code, the world will never quite be the same. Every gift has a shadow. Every awakening comes with a price. Let's not romanticize what happens when you begin to shape reality with conscious awareness. The Egyptian myth warns, the mirror does not lie, and it does not rest. The code, once awakened, will bring forth not only beauty, synchronicity, and new possibilities, but also every unconscious residue left in your field. It amplifies what is hidden, demanding that the old be seen and resolved, sometimes with breathtaking speed. The first time my own code fully activated, I felt unstoppable. Coincidences rained down, doors opened as if by magic. People treated me with unexpected respect or awe. But soon after, old patterns I thought I had outgrown surged back with a vengeance. Ancient fears, unresolved grief, even sudden bursts of anger or restlessness. It was as if the light of consciousness called every shadow to the surface. This is not a flaw. It is the final, essential test. India's sages called it the burning of karma, a cleansing fire that purifies by bringing hidden patterns into the open. In Tibet, it is the chode ritual, feeding the demons instead of running from them. The Egyptians warned initiates, if you cannot hold your own shadow, you cannot hold the mirror's light. Modern psychology observes similar phenomena: spiritual emergence, the shadow crisis, the so-called dark night of the soul. You may experience wild mood swings, vivid dreams, sudden losses, or gains that make no logical sense. Relationships shift, priorities rearrange themselves. You may feel both more alive and more vulnerable, as if the world's volume has been turned up. If you notice these side effects, do not panic. It means the code is working. The mirror is simply returning everything you have sent, everything you have avoided, everything you are finally ready to heal. Meet these moments with compassion. Journal. Walk in nature. Speak gently to yourself as you would to a dear friend. If possible, share your experience with someone on a similar path. Ritual for integration. When you feel overwhelmed, sit quietly with the mirror. Place both hands over your heart, close your eyes, and speak aloud. I accept all that arises. I witness my shadow with love. I trust the code to bring me home. Then, breathe deeply and allow the energy to settle. Often, a wave of peace will follow, along with new clarity or insight. Warning: if you resist or try to suppress these side effects, the energy will intensify, sometimes leading to confusion, insomnia, or emotional turbulence. Surrender is the way through. Remember, you are not being punished, you are being initiated. If you have experienced these signs, type, "I am being transformed, the gifts are unfolding." The collective field. This is the secret conclusion, the most radical truth. You are not alone in this work. Every soul who awakens the mirror code becomes a living point of resonance in a growing web, a network of creators, shaping the new reality together. It is tempting to believe that the journey ends with personal transformation, that the mirror serves only the individual seeker. But the old legends, the mystery schools, the sacred science, they all taught otherwise. The mirror code is not just about you, it is a tuning fork for humanity. As one awakens, others feel the pulse. As you clear your energy, the field shifts for all. This is why the ancient priests gathered in hidden chambers, why monks and mystics formed circles of practice. Each was a node, a lighthouse, amplifying the signal. Modern science is catching up. Quantum entanglement hints at a reality in which every action, every intention, echoes across vast distances, felt by those attuned to the same frequency. When you witness yourself, you become more sensitive to the subtle changes in others, the unspoken joys, the silent wounds. Compassion increases, intuition deepens. The collective dream begins to change. But there is a warning here, a challenge as old as civilization. The field can be clouded by fear, hatred, or ignorance, as quickly as it can be brightened by love, wisdom, and courage. Each thought, each word, each ritual is an act of creation for better or worse. The world you see tomorrow is being shaped by what you witness and choose today. So here is your invitation. Do not keep this knowledge in the dark. Share the ritual. Speak gently to those ready to hear. Invite others to witness themselves, to step through the gate, to become living mirrors. When you subscribe to this channel, like and share this video, or comment with your experience, you are not merely supporting a creator, you are amplifying a vibration, joining a lineage of architects and awakeners who are shaping the coming age. This is your community, your field, your echo in eternity. Ritual for the collective. Light a candle, if you can. Sit for a moment and feel into your heart. Picture every person watching this video, past, present, and future. Imagine a network of light linking you across continents and centuries. Speak aloud or write in the comments. The mirror is awake. The field is alive. I am an architect of reality. Feel the resonance ripple outward, subtle but unstoppable. This is not the end. This is the new beginning. Each time you return, each time you share your energy and voice, the code grows stronger. The ancient knowledge is preserved not in books or temples, but in living hearts. So, join us. Subscribe, share, and comment not as habit, but as ritual, as resonance, as your gift to the collective awakening. Let us build the new world together, one reflection at a time. Type in the comments, "The mirror is awake. The field is alive. I am an architect of reality. The journey has begun. Welcome to the circle of awakened mirrors."